Okay, so I want to share this document with you guys called PC Activity Ideas. Okay, it's in the Google Drive. And what it does is it creates on the left-hand side, this whole area right here is basically a day-by-day month schedule, right? It also includes, and I'll go over it in detail in here one second. It includes a series of daily commitments. It includes a series of weekly commitments, and it includes a series of monthly commitments. Okay. It also touches on some ideas of things that I wrote this kind of right at the height of COVID, if I remember correctly, and some things that you should start or make sure that are in place, and then a social media weekly schedule. So let's start with the social media weekly schedule real fast, okay? You don't have to use this exactly the way that I have it here, but it's also on the fourth quarter GPS to have a schedule, and this is an example of a schedule. So Sunday, maybe you post an inspirational video. Monday, weekly market stats, or some form of real estate advice or recommendations, right? It could be, hey, this is the Joe Schmo roofer who just finished a roof at one of my clients' house and had an awesome experience. You know, one thing that we tend to find on roofs is shingle damage, and this is how, or wind damage, and this is how you would recognize it, right? Some form of advice or recommendation, right? Or some type of weekly market update. Okay, it could be the stuff that we do, for example, in team meeting. Hey, in the last 7 days, there's been 1,400 new listings and 1,900 closings. So if you think nobody's doing anything in real estate, you're wrong. Here's the proof, right? Tuesday, positive real estate news. That could also be incorporated with the stats, right? Wednesday, a video supporting another business, right? Hey, here's the guy who owns the bakery in town. You know, this is their mission. This is where they're located. My favorite thing is the raspberry scone, right? Whatever it may be. How are you helping other small business owners in your community? Friday, or Thursday, I'm sorry, an announcement for where you're going to be doing your open house on Sunday. Friday, you can send something about a local events in the community. Hey, we got this beer festival going on. Hey, we got this, you know, Zoom event at the movie theater, whatever, right? Saturday could be testimonials or something meaningful to you. Could be like, hey, I'm Donna's most recent buyer. Had an awesome time. Donna was so patient with me. She priced the home perfectly, and here we are in California, you know, so we can be closer to our grandkids. We love Donna, right? Or it could be something meaningful to you, like, you know, hey, a picture of you, you know, ladling soup at the soup kitchen, right? Or helping to, you know, wrap presents or something, whatever it is, like you active in the community, doing something that people might be take note of, okay? So again, I'm just throwing out a bunch of ideas here. You can create your own schedule, but if it's not scheduled, it's most likely not going to happen, or it's going to be haphazard, or it's going to be like really tightly done for like a couple of days, and then we're not going to see anything for a couple of weeks when you go get busy. See what I'm saying? So then you say to yourself, well, what are then we go to the conversation of standards, right? What can we expect from you, right? So you want to get to the point of like, oh my gosh, Donna posts on social media every day. She didn't post on social media today. Let's call the cops and have them swing by the house and make sure she's okay. I know I'm being funny, but I'm dead serious about that.
No, it's about being consistent, and then people sort of expect it and look for it.
Right.
Well, now my social media, I use Hootsuite, so I'm pretty on point with how I get my stuff out with that.
Right.
But I do like your schedule because it gives me more ideas, like the inspirational videos and stuff like that.
Right. It could be a motivational piece. It could be anything. It could be like, hey, this is a book that I just finished reading. It's called Awaken the Giant Within. My favorite phrase was this, right? Here's a coupon to get it online. I mean, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Right? So let's go to, I know you guys, I don't have to talk to you guys about this, but If you have not updated all of your social media profiles, now is a great time to do that. Okay. So
Mhm.
I haven't looked at yours lately, but Darlene, for example, if you still have your old broker on there or something, you want to make
No,
sure
I
you
don't.
do that. And then I don't see this as a problem with the two of you, but for anyone that's watching this video, I always recommend, and I've said this plenty of times, but I'll say it again, guys, you're a public figure, okay? You got to be super careful about what your image is online, right? I'm not going to tell you what to say or what not to say, but please understand that we live in a society that um, people can get upset with you for just about anything. And if you've got, pictures of you, with, you know, half dressed or at, keggers and these kind of things, it doesn't look good.
Mhm.
Okay. So just be aware of that. I try to keep all of that stuff off of social media and things like, I mean, you wouldn't know what my political views are or any controversial topic on religion or Trump or not Trump or whatever. You got no idea because I'm not talking about that stuff,
Mhm.
right? Because I say, hey, I'm a Trump guy. I just isolated half the world, probably more than half
Mhm.
the world. I say, hey, Biden's my guy. Same thing. Now, nothing wrong with saying I voted, but you got to be
Yeah.
careful on how your image is being portrayed. Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions on that?
No.
Well, when you say update all social media profiles, we're talking about Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn.
I'd say those are the major ones.
Okay.
Those are the major ones. If you have I never really got into Twitter, but if that's something you've been doing, just make sure that it has updated information.
Okay.
Right. The worst thing that they could do is log on to one of those sites and see a profile that hasn't done anything in like, 20 months or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Here's just a list of commitments. Okay. This is back when we were doing one-on-ones monthly. But if you do, hang on, one weekday virtual open house, or maybe even in-person open house. Again, these are just the documents in Google Drive. It's just a bunch of ideas, right?
Mhm.
Weekly goals or weekly commitments. We set our goals. We do that public, on the spreadsheet. We track our numbers daily. We record our actual results. We host an open house. We hold an appointment. We update our 411. We have one time blocked evening lead generation session, right? We do a Zoom coffee with one business professional. We practice writing one contract, right? So for example, we have to treat this like a job, right? A lot of people get into this business because they don't want a boss, yet they're reluctant to be their own boss,
Yeah.
right? And as a
Mhm.
result, their income is sporadic, and
Mhm.
it shouldn't be surprising because their activities are sporadic,
Mhm.
right? And there's nothing that I don't want to say there's nothing. I'm being dramatic here, but I was on the phone with somebody not in our group earlier today, and she told me that she had a plan to sell a certain amount a year go on each week in order for that to happen. And she says, well, I haven't memorized that number. And inside I'm thinking to myself, well, you're not even paying attention to it because you should come into the office, sit down at your desk and say, oh, I need to set an appointment today. Am I on track for my 4 appointments this month? Like, you should be looking at that so many freaking times every day and week and month that it's like it's tattooed on your soul. You see what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
how can you tell me you haven't memorized that one number? That's the number that has the most impact on your likelihood to hit your goals. Not
Mhm.
Right.
surprisingly, she's not on track to hit her goals. Y'all follow that?
Yeah.
Daily commitments, right? Are you committed every day to going on your LinkedIn and Facebook and writing happy birthday to the people, or sending them a
Mhm.
video text, or saying, hey, I was thinking about you, or maybe even do it a day early. Say, hey, I wanted to be the first person to send you a happy birthday.
Mhm.
Right? Hey, I know your birthday's tomorrow. I just wanted to be the first person.
Mhm.
What about doing it 2 or 3 days early?
Mhm.
I mean, it's much better than saying, hey, I know your birthday was yesterday. Sorry, I was busy.
Yeah.
Right? Does that make
Yeah.
them feel good? No,
Mm-mm.
right? Can you do something like 5 daily likes, 5 daily direct messages, 5 daily comments? Do you have your
Mhm.
lead gen um, time blocked? Do you have your maintenance time blocked? Maintenance is kind of like the um, it's kind of like what we have on the daily tracker that I put what's the phrase I used? Cleanup time, cleanup task,
Mhm.
right? How many people am I adding to my database daily, and am I tracking my numbers daily, right? So I just put that out there to remind you that there should be like that's how you win a day. That's when you can if you close your book at, let's say, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you've already hit your goals for contacts and appointments, you've already added the appropriate number of people to your database, you've already done your social media activities, you've already touched all the current files, you've already stared at your pipeline, right?
Mhm.
Then you can peacefully just close your book of business and go enjoy your afternoon. But if you're not paying attention to any of these standards, you're never going to be at peace.
Mm-mm.
Make sense?
It does.
All right, so let's go through this list here, okay? So what I did is I created 7 days, right? So these 7 things right here are the 7 days of the week. 7 days of the week. I did four of them, obviously, for a month. So if you were to do this plan for a month, like really do it, you would be so busy you wouldn't even know what to do with yourself. Okay. I would venture to say that the it really at the beginning of somebody's career, it all comes down to how much time you're spending on the most important things. Notice you're not going to see anything about fixing a website on here.
Mhm.
Okay. This is all activity, pretty assertive, aggressive, activity-based lead generation. So first day of the week, let's say this is a Monday. We're going to start off the month with the bold 100. We're going to call expireds, old expireds, the DTD4 vendors, our top 25 raving fans, right? We're going to touch every one of them, and we're going to talk to 100 people that day, okay?
Oh, okay.
Now, again, this isn't a mandate. I'm just sharing some ideas with you, okay? We specifically do the bold 100 on the first Wednesday of each month because we know that that's going to create a lot of activity for you, right? I booked, what was it, like 10 appointments or something like that last week because and that's basically got my calendar full all month. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So we're going to write 50 note cards, okay? So those could be the people that we speak to. 50 of them are going to get a note card. We're going to select our virtual open house or the house that we're going to promote this week. The next day, we're going to write the other 50 cards, and we're going to research the 50 homes that we're going to drop off a short CMA at. The next day, we're going to drop off the short CMA. The short CMA could be simply a one-pager that says, real estate news in Martin's Landing, right? 6 active listings, average price of this. 14 homes under contract, average price of this. The last 5 homes that have sold in the last month have sold for this with the number of bed, baths, etc. for 100% of list price. Got questions? Call me. Right? Super simple, nice and colorful, pretty, could be anything. Drop off 50 of those. Okay, that's essentially a door knock. Okay. Then you make the following day 75 calls to invite somebody to a virtual event, right? You could do 25 of them for social media, 25 of them by text, 25 each to the general community, your sphere of influence. It could be anything. Virtual event could be a home buyer seminar, could be anything. Okay, it could be a seminar on refinancing. It could be a seminar on how to appeal your taxes. It could be a seminar on a tax tip. It could be a seminar on a home renovation strategy. It could be anything. Okay. The next day, you do 50 note cards or slash calls to the 50 houses you did the CMA drop off at. Hey, this is Donna Patrick. I was able to swing by your home 2 days ago to drop off a short CMA, and just wanted to call and introduce myself so you could put a face to a voice to a name, and wanted to see if you had any questions. Do you have any goals in the year ahead regarding real estate that I might be able to help you with? I spend pretty much all day on the phone with buyers looking for sellers and sellers looking for buyers. How can I help you? Right? Sunday, you do the open house and you crash. Okay. Now, please don't read, I want you to work 7 days a week. Okay. Again, you don't have to do all of this. It's simply multiple ideas and strategies. Okay. Next week, sole proprietor, local business owners. You go pop by 25 of them. Okay.
So when you say pop by, you're just saying stop by, say hello, introduce yourself, see how you might be able to help each other.
Exactly. Check in to see, hey, you're a local business. I know this COVID is impacting local businesses in some really interesting ways. I wanted to see, I'm working with a lot of people that are moving into the area. I have a pretty big following on social media. I'm on the phone all day with people in the community looking to move and to buy and to sell. And, I wanted to be aware of what you do and see if I could support you in any way. Right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
25 pop buys with marketing package to high school district, expired and withdrawn listings, right? So you go into a local, I don't know why I put high school district. You go to expireds and withdrawns, and rather than just calling them and saying, hey, I wondered when you were going to hire the right agent to sell your home, you actually drop off a little package at their door. How many of those do you think they're getting? Right? Just turn it up a little bit. Right? 25 notes to those business, select the open house. 25 notes to those homes, research the 50 homes for the short CMA. Next day, drop them off. Then you write the notes, right? Maybe you go to 25 for sale by owners and drop off some type of item of value. Hey, staging advice, right? Could be 47 ways to prepare your home for sale. That's mostly talking about staging. Or you can say, hey, I noticed your pictures online, and I work with a great real estate company, and I know you're not interested in selling your home with a real estate agent right now, but here's a coupon for a drone package. You might want to get some pro photography, right? Doesn't cost you anything. You're just connecting people.
Okay.
Right?
So that's a good idea, because you could reach out to the photographers first as part of your
Business,
reach out to
local.
local businesses, see what kind of coupons or deals they might have to offer, and then go and share that with the FSBOs.
Right. I mean, it could be anything. Remember that the first time that somebody buys a home, that's often the first. I know this might. I hope this doesn't offend anybody. It's a lot of times it's the first adult thing they've done,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like they probably don't have like a financial advisor. They may not have life insurance. They may, and they should, right? They may not have disability insurance, and they should, right? They may not have somebody that helps them with their investments. They may not have a tax attorney or a CPA, right? It's like, welcome to adulthood. Can I introduce you to a handful of other professionals that are going to help you become an awesome adult, right? Because I don't know y'all's stories, and I hope this doesn't hit home for you guys, but how many times have you heard of a spouse passing away and the remaining spouse has to sell the home because they can't afford to live there because there was no assets or no life insurance?
Right.
Right? Do you want that to happen to your client? Right? So I don't see anything wrong with having a conversation with your people about how to protect the asset that you just helped them buy. And the way that you do that is by having great relationships with other professionals that handle the ancillary services that people need, right? Hey, now you're a homeowner, you got some new things to think about on your tax return. Do you have somebody that can help you with that? No? Okay, here, free consultation. Need life insurance? Great, I got a great life insurance guy. Here's a coupon, free consultation.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. The next week could be that virtual event you've been advertising, right? Then you write some handwritten notes to those that participated. You research the 50 homes for the short CMA. Next day, you could send out 50 texts to your database, select the open house, drop off the short CMA, maybe do another bold 100 for an open house announcement. You pick up the pace for that week. You know, you do 50 notes and calls to those 50 houses, do your open house. Next week, we're going to text 100 people in the sphere, or check in with the people in your database. It could be what Donna was talking about earlier, where she puts she direct messaged a bunch of people on Facebook one by one and got 30 and initiated 33 two-way conversations. Added 11 people to her database, and she's going to have a handful of people that will attend her seminar as a result, right? Another 25 pop buys of the local business owners, select the open house, right? Drop off some more expired listing packages, 50 note cards to those people you've been speaking with, another bold 100 if necessary, open house and crash. Here's the thing. Today is the 14th of the month, okay? What I always recommend is, here, I'll go back on this. What I always recommend is you need to constantly be evaluating where you're at, right? It doesn't do you any good to realize on the 30th of the month that you're not going to hit your goals for the month, right? That's why I want you to fill out the pages every week. So you could say, hey, my goal is to speak to 65 people. I only spoke to 20 this week. So what do I need to cancel next week to make so that I have an appropriate amount of time to catch up with all the things I need to now do, right? So again, it's not like I'm bored and I got nothing else to do. I got plenty of other stuff to do. My point is that we want you to constantly be grading yourself to say, am I winning? Right? That's what the top producers do, is they have a very, very clear awareness about what matters most, and that's what they focus their activities on, right? In the course of doing all of this work, you will be meeting people left and right that you can add to your database, right? That you can connect with other professionals that might need it, right? Do you have a bunch of other people in your back pocket? I'm just looking right now on the top 20% board. Somebody's asking for a divorce attorney, right? Can you, like Laura Lerman suggested, can you say, hey, my clients use so-and-so. And what do you know? Laura was the very first person 7 minutes later to respond. That's how she rolls. Okay. And she says, oh, this is the person you need to speak to, right? What if you became that connector for all the people in your world? You'll get paid plenty from helping people buy and sell if you're out there helping people do what the services that they need. Does that make sense? So don't think of your business as simply finding buyers and finding sellers. Your business is to be a community figure and to study the market, to be the economist of choice, to be the connector, right? Maybe next year you're going to do a client event, right? And we've heard all kinds of creative stuff with Zoom, right? We did for my daughter's birthday last month, we did a scavenger hunt. So we dropped off, so we created this little, I shouldn't say we had nothing to do with this. My wife, my beautiful, talented, amazing wife, she organized all this stuff. So she created this little basket, and in it had like a little instruction manual on what you're going to be looking for. And it was sealed. And on the top, it had like a sticker that says, open when I say so, or something like that. So she dropped that off with like a muffin and like some candy. And she dropped it off at all of the houses of the kids that were coming to this party. And she asked for RSVP, so she knew where to go. Dropped it all off. Everyone gets on Zoom, and she says, okay, open. And then everyone sees the list, so there's 30 people or whatever in the thing, sees the list of what to find around the house, right? Come back with a spatula, come back with a golf club, come back with you dressed in a costume, right? Come back with something that is purple, right? Come back with your favorite book, whatever it is, right? And then everyone comes back and we have fun. Wouldn't it be cool to invite all your clients' kids to an event like that? Like,
Yeah, that's nice.
like how can we be creative and have fun? You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to
Mhm.
encourage you guys to really think outside the box on what do people, how do they want to spend their time now, right? Is there any kind of I've heard of people that hired a magician to do something on Zoom, right? The magician came into the Zoom room and started doing his thing, and all the people are watching the Zoom guy, or hired a clown. I mean, there's this, it could be anything, right? Could you host a shredding event? Could you host a, come get your Thanksgiving pie? Would you prefer cherry pie or apple pie? Respond by this date. Tell me which kind of pie you want. You can pick them all up at the office, right? And you're there and you got a couple other people there to help you because you're going to get clobbered, right? Hey, how's it going? Here's your pie. By the way, you need anything? Oh yeah, my brother's getting ready to buy. Cha-ching, cha-ching. See what I'm saying? So there's no like secret script, okay? I'm not like holding out on you guys, okay? There's not like something you have to like do and then I'm like, Donna, you've earned the secret script. That doesn't exist.
I know, it's just doing the work.
That's right. It's just doing the work, right? It's just asking the people, how can I help you? The most important thing I can do for you today, and then really work hard to make it happen. Right?
Yep.
All right, I know I've done
Great.
most of the talking. What have you guys heard me say? Anything that you really liked, that you really didn't like? Was it what you expected? Talk to me.
Well, I know that I've seen this before and it's good to go over it again. And it's a plan. It's having an actual plan to follow every day, if you choose to. And
That's
that's
right.
something that I need structure. So I like it.
Yeah, and you're not alone, Donna. I mean, most people need structure, right? They show up to work at their corporate job or whatever, and they are basically told by their supervisor, here's the stuff you're supposed to work on today. And it doesn't, and you just do it. You don't ask many questions, and when it's done, you go home. Why do we have such a more difficult challenge when we're independent contractors? Like, Donna, your task for the day is to go talk to 20 people and book an appointment. Don't go home until it's done. If you do it by 9:30, have a great day. Do whatever the hell you want.
I agree. I need structure. So and this does help give me some structure.
Right. So structure, by the way, goes back to the how to cap in 6 months plan, right? Or the how to get 100 grand in plan, right? We set an appointment a week. We hold 3, we take 2, and we close 1. We have 11 contacts per day, right? We have a social media standard every day. We have a learning or project time every day. We have cleanup task time at the end of the day. That's when you execute on all the promises you've made, right? You guys, I mean, not you in particular, but you have the potential to be your worst enemy or your potential to be your best friend, right? If you allow yourself to, if you allow yourself the excuses of not, oh, it was raining outside. Oh, my leg kind of hurt a little bit, so I decided not to make any calls. Well, fine. In 90 days, you won't get a paycheck. What do you think about that? Right. And how many days can go by where until that starts to get stressful, right? Like Kanye West said, I think it was him, it said, having money isn't everything, but not having money is everything. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true.
Having money having money eliminates a lot of stress.
Yes, it does. Money doesn't buy you everything, but it buys you options. I have the option of making dinner tonight. I have the option of cleaning my house. I have the option of cutting my grass. I have the option of, um, cleaning the gutters. If I don't have any money, it becomes my job.
Right.
And I already got a lot of jobs.
Yeah. I look forward to that day when I have the option of someone else cleaning my house and cooking my meals.
Okay, well,
Take up a lot of time.
it doesn't have to be. I mean, there's people that are having amazing, that have amazing first years in the business, that have amazing
I
fifth
know.
years in the business. It's simply working the plan. It's working the plan, right? How
It
many
is.
days,
And
like, can you start a 66-day challenge that says, I will speak to 11 people every day for the rest of my life?
of course, it's a decision. You
It's
make the
all a
decision
decision.
to do that.
And you can look at it, but I can't remember if we touched on this earlier this morning, but it's in the language that you use, right? I must, or I have to talk to 11 people because Bill said I needed to do that to hit my goals. Well, if you bring that crappy attitude to the table, it's going to be a tough day, right? But if you say, hey, I can't wait to talk to these 11 people today because they need something I know about or I have. And when we can connect, I will impact the lives of 11 people today. Man, 11 is going to be like the bare minimum.
Yeah. Tony Robbins
I can't see
talks
your
about
face. I can't tell if you're, Donna's kind
Me, I'm
of.
into it. I got you.
No, I'm taking it all in. I was just saying that Tony Robbins talks about that a lot. I think it's something about making your wants your musts or your needs your musts. When you must do something, you find a way to do it. Like we've all run into adversity at some point in our lives, and we found a way to fix our problem because we had to. It was a must.
Mhm.
We have to kind of look at it that way. If we want to be successful, there are certain things we must do. And
Right.
until we, live that, then we're going to struggle. When we realize we must grow our database and we must lead gen every day, until we recognize that, then we're going to kind of flounder.
Right. Well, the truth of the matter is you actually don't have to. It's just tied to being successful, right? Being successful is not a mandate, right?
Mhm.
But if you want to be successful, there's certain things you must do,
Exactly.
right? I don't care if you ever call a stranger in your entire life, but if you're not getting enough appointments from not doing that, then you better figure out a way to get the appointments you need, or you're kidding yourself.
Mhm.
And the thing is, we're surrounded with evidence of success. People who are taking the actions that, the things that Keller Williams preaches, there's so much evidence around us of people who are, the people who do those things are successful. We can see that. It's not like something far away, Keller Williams International. We're talking about Keller Williams Realty Consultants in Roswell. There's evidence of big success.
We had 3
If
agents
they can
in
do
our
it,
office. We had 3 agents in our office, solo agents in our office last month that made over $95,000 in a month.
in a month. I know, I hear that, and it's just, I'm flabbergasted. I'm like so amazed. It's like, even our Kathy Ray this month was
Yeah.
recognized.
Yeah. I think
For her.
Kathy was around 80-ish or so. Jill Maxon was over 100. Peggy Connors was over 100. I think Carrie Veal was over 100 too. Like, that's insane. What
And
other opportunity?
Carrie's not luxury, right? Or
No.
is she? Yeah, that's what I mean. She's just like a normal, I love her because that's how I see myself.
Yeah.
Just a normal person.
And what she did, Donna, just so you know, is she walked in the door, just like some of our up and coming people like Laura and Michelle Slater and Lee Hunter and some of these people, like they just walked in the door they asked, I say this kind of facetiously, but they say to Mel, "Hey Mel, where are all the people making money having fun?" I say, "Oh, they're over there." And you go over there and you say, "Hey, what you up to today?" "Well, I'm calling these FISBOs and I'm going to write these notes and I'm planning this for the open house and I've got to go preview a couple properties and then I'm taking my client to dinner and then I'm doing something date night with my husband." Like it's all boom, 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 boom. They're not like, "Well, today I'm going to stand by the coffee machine and fix a website no one knows exists." They're not talking about that crap, right? It's
Mhm.
activity. So if you do the activity, you're going to wake up not long from now and say, I'm slammed and my quality of life is in jeopardy here. So I better get some help because I don't want to say no to these people, right? It's pretty exciting stuff, huh?
It
It is.
is. Yeah.
And I had another question, Bill.
Yeah.
I know it has to do with leverage, but realistically, um,
Okay.
what's
Realistically, that sounds like we're about to hear an excuse of some sort.
no, no, no. Realistically, what can a solo agent handle by themselves? Like, how many buyers can I realistically handle alone before
Yeah.
I have to start thinking about adding leverage? Because to be honest, I struggle with managing my time
Yeah, of course.
with a couple of buyers. So,
Um, in my experience, well, here's the thing. The model would tell you that um, you should have a listings-based business to begin with. Okay.
I know.
A listings-based business, they say you could probably do anywhere from 15 to 20 listings a month. A
Yeah.
buyers, if you're working exclusively with buyers, you'd be lucky to do 6 or 7 a month. Okay. So I got 5 listings.
Yeah.
I go to the beach. All 5 could be under contract by the time I get back. I got 5
I
buyers.
know.
I go to the beach. First of all, I probably wouldn't go to the beach because it'd be too damn stressful. But nothing's going to happen until I return, unless I'm willing to pay somebody else to do some of the work. Okay.
I had 2 buyers and went to the beach and it was horrible.
There you go.
And I did have to pay 2 different people to go do the work for me in my absence. It
There's
was
the evidence. There's
not,
the
it
evidence right
was
there. I'm
not
not
right.
making this stuff up, right?
No, it was
So what I
horrible.
found in the book, if you will, would tell you anywhere from 25 to 36 units, and you should have leverage. Okay, that generally is in the form of a full-time assistant, though. So leverage could be, hey, somebody else handles my social media. Leverage could be somebody else puts my listings in. Leverage could be somebody else does my contract to close. So you don't have to go from 0 to a $50,000 employee. You can
Mhm.
piecemeal some of it out. You can
Yeah.
also hire a virtual assistant that's far cheaper than somebody in house. I personally found, because I was more buyer focused, is in between about 20 and 25 units, I felt more stressed than I wanted to feel. And at the time, I was making more money than, quite frankly, I probably needed, right? And so for me, I was willing to earn less to buy back my time, essentially, right? And I
Mhm.
found myself saying to Pam, for example, I was like, here's Joe and Sarah. They want to buy a home. Go show them some homes, right? I wasn't clearly saying it like that. But she'd get the home, and then she's like, okay, they want 123 Hill Street. And I'm like, why don't you handle this one? It's like, I don't really want to spend the next 5 hours dealing with this. Why don't
Mhm.
you use it as this can be your opportunity and you can make the lion's share of the money, right? And so it wasn't about like, how do I stockpile as much money and how do I like, share as little as possible? It was, what do I want to do with my minutes, right? Like the very first time, this may have been a huge coincidence, I don't know, but it was impactful enough for me to remember it 8 years later. The very first time I ever let anyone show a property for me was the first night my daughter crawled. Okay. I would have missed that. I would have missed it. Right. So I didn't want to miss dinner every night. I didn't want to be away from my family every weekend. Right. And I was able to create enough opportunity where I could allow somebody else the opportunity to earn some money as a result. and I could spend my time doing what I wanted. And Pam and I happened to, and still kind of have this agreement that, you know, I had 2 young kids. Her kids are grown up. She didn't care about that stuff. So it was a
Right.
perfect match. Right.
But my other concern too is my level of customer service. And I want to make sure that I'm delivering that excellent experience. And I feel like if I spread myself too thin, I'm not delivering the experience that I promised.
So first of all, I would get what you're calling your experience, get it in writing, right? You should be able to hand that to your future assistant and say, this is the experience people have come to expect of Donna Patrick. Your job will be to maintain this experience. Are you up for that task? Right? So we're just kind of brainstorming here, but make sure while it's kind of fresh in your mind, you get that on paper so you can explain to somebody what you do and why you do it and what they can expect from you. My suggestion would be get contract to close as quickly as you can. There's no reason why you should be doing that yourself. None.
Really?
I mean, if you got a couple of deals here and there, you know, like maybe one a month or something like that, one every other month, I think it's probably okay for you to do it. But you got to keep in mind that when you're doing the stuff that I just talked about, you're worth probably a couple $100 an hour. The second you go organize some file and DocuSign, you're worth $10 an hour.
Right.
So and I'm not minimizing that role, please believe me. Okay. My life would look a whole lot different if I didn't have my assistant Pam. Okay. But guess what? She loves that job. Okay. I don't want that job. So again, we're a match. Okay. So there are people that like doing everything, right? There are people that like cleaning windows of skyscrapers. I don't want that job. There's people that, you know, crawl in crawl spaces and, you know, clean up wet stuff down there. I don't want that job, but somebody wants it. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, don't forget about your RSVPing to Career Visioning on Friday. Bold. And I'm super grateful for you being here today. I hope it was a good investment of your time, and I'll see you in the morning.
All right. I appreciate you. Have
And
a
that
good-
form that you have with the information, that's in our Google Drive, am I correct?
That's correct.
Okay, great.
All right. See you
Have a
soon.
great day,
All right,
darling.
see you later. You